Hello and welcome back to this week's top 10 plants for your plant area from Bransford Webs. Well, the weather's certainly changed this week. We're filming this early in the morning before the sun really gets up, and it's going to be a scorching day and a really warm week ahead. I hope you've all had a busy bank holiday weekend, and this is now putting fresh stock in to keep things going as we continue into June. But you can see behind me, we're still busy potting here on the nursery. Team behind me, they are putting down some 4-litre lavender annuks. So they'll be ready towards the end of the month, loaded in bud and flower. And then there's a small dahlia crop next to me at the moment. But that's for the future. So this week's top 10 plants, I'm going to start with this week's hero plant, which doesn't really fit with a lot of the things we've been using as hero plants, which have been really, really good garden plants. And this is a cracking plant, not necessarily for the garden, but if you want something to put in a pot on your patio or balcony and just keep colour coming all summer long and give those fresh summer feeling, this is it. This is Dianthus Bling Bling. It's got that lovely lemony coloured flower with a red fleck and pink fleck coming through it. It just keeps flowering all summer long. Whack that into a nice pot and that is going to give you pleasure, colour and interest, and your friends are going to love that on the patio all summer long. Just pinch out those dead heads as they finish and they'll keep flushing around the base. That's this week's hero plant, Dianthus Bling Bling. So if we're looking for colour this week, we've got our Salvia Velocity Blue. I actually love this plant. It's got like almost a nice sort of smoky, hazy feel as you got the stem, and then a vibrant purpley blue flower above it. The first flower is just showing, and there's an absolute riot of colour about to explode in the summer heat we're getting at the moment. Talking about colour, a riot of colour about to explode, our Fuchsia Fuchsistas are online now. And for flower power, you can't beat this range. We've got 4 in the mix, and just look at the amount of bud on there. They're not supposed to be hardy too, but my parents live in Yorkshire and they've had these in pots coming through the winter for a couple of winters now. So it really is a good value plant that just performs year after year and gives you loads and loads of colour. Again, better in a pot or the patio, but will do well in the border as well if you want some colour, summer colour in the border. Something to contrast that, and while flower colour is all the thing at the moment, you do need foliage to mix in there to make up your planting arrangements and to make up interest across the patio and across the garden. And you can't beat heucherellas for that this time of year. So this is Pink Fizz. I really like it because it's got a dusky green foliage with a nice sort of almost chocolate brown veining through the plant. And then it has a nice pink flower that's just going to come up from the base there. We've got 4 in our range, so check out our full availability at the moment and we'll get that across to you over the next few days. Our summer drinks Hebes are going from strength to strength, so we put a couple on last week. This is Champagne Ice, which is actually on the bed next to me where we're filming. If Sarah zooms in here, just look at the amount of bud on there. With the temperatures in the high 20s we've got this week, by the time that arrives with you next week, that is going to be showing colour and looking absolutely stunning, and it'll just be a riot of that lovely pale mauve flower. Also on the Hebe front, we've got our summer batch of Hebe Pink Pixie online. We've also got Purple Pixie, but again, loaded in bud. That's going to swell over the next week and be in colour by the time it arrives with you next week in the garden centre. Back to some instant colour, and we have got our miniature climbing rose series online now. So all these roses are designed for containers or smaller gardens, or where you don't want to go massive in the garden, so they'll go up a nice sort of obelisk in the border. We've got 6 in the range, so check out the full range on our availability list, but this is Golden Skies, which is a new one, and it's also nice and scented. It's a lovely sweet scent to that. So they're all getting towards the top of the cane, they're loaded in bud and looking really nice. What I've always said with these is don't put these with your roses. Stick them on the front of the bench end and an impulse and a hot spot, and they absolutely walk out of the door because they're roses in flower a few weeks earlier than most, looking really good, and the scent on the air is going to knock people's socks off as they walk past. Herbaceous is obviously becoming king at the moment, and we have got our Digitalis Lucas. So this is early pink. So it's not early pink at all, it's light pink. Absolutely loaded in bud. Looking really nice. Lucas is fantastic because it has this multi-stemmed feel to it, so you don't just get a single stem through the middle like some foxgloves. You get an absolute riot of colour on those. So check those out on the availability list. Then we'll drop back to salvias, and we've got our Salifum. So we've got this in both blue and white. The blue's a nice sort of sky blue, and the white's a really clear, clean white colour as well. A bit like the Velocity, it's a Farina type, so it's nice foliage to it too. And then you get the nice stems as well on there. And then last but not least, we have got our Coreopsis Solas. So we've got two of these in the range. This is Moon. It's nice pale lemon with the red eye. Again, loaded in bud. And that by next week, with the mid to high 20 temperatures we're going to get over the next few days, is going to be absolutely loaded in colour next week as it hits your garden centre. Always the thing when we're filming this video, we're filming it a week, 10 days ahead of it arriving with you in the centre. So we're trying to get it so you can see where it is now, and it's going to develop over the next few days. So that's it for this week. Hope you enjoy the summer weather. We can get the barbecue out now at long last and actually enjoy our gardens and spend some time in them. See you next week. Goodbye for now.